On the call, guys.
Okay, Chris. Now, from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, in our 9th season, it's ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Constructed with careful precision, the Arizona Diamondbacks have one goal: to quickly become a force in the National League. Tuesday night, this spectacular ballpark opened with great expectations. The foundation built through the character of their manager, veteran leadership, and promising youth. But with youthful heroics come growing pains. 5 losses in 5 days. Tonight they turn to their ace, Dbacks, looking for win number 1 and a building block to the future. It just opened this week, but already all roads lead to the Bank One Ballpark here in the Sonoran Desert. And tonight again, another huge crowd is gathering as the Arizona Diamondbacks look yet again for their first win. Sunday Night Baseball back for its 9th season. It's the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller, and welcome to our 9th season of ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And for the first time, we get a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks in their first season. They've had a hard first week. They're 0-5. The Giants, they look to make things even harder for them tonight. And Barry Bonds, he was at his best last year. The 3-time MVP was MVP-like down the stretch. 7 home runs in the Giants' last 10 games when they clinched the division. He talked to Joe before the game.
Barry, last year the Giants won the division. You had another good year. Yet coming into this season, people seem to have forgotten about the Giants. And when they talk about the best players in baseball, your name doesn't come up as often.
Well, Joe, if I had to place bets on what the media thought, I'd be homeless. I'd be straight homeless. We're a good team. We're a steady good team. We're a confident team. We know each other really well. But I wouldn't bet against us. I'm not going to say we're going to win it, but I wouldn't bet against us.
How about you individually? How's your health?
I'm okay. I'm bulging disc in my back. I'm dealing with it. Doing a lot of exercises, keep myself in good shape. Some days are better than others, but you know me, Joe. You're going to have to pull me off this field.
Were you disappointed with only 40 home runs last year?
I wasn't disappointed. I think the media was more disappointed than the fans. But the unfortunate thing is that a lot of players in our team had great years and career years for themselves, and the whole attention was on me. Oh, Barry had an off season. I think it's not fair for the organization. I think it's not fair for the other players that did contribute and have great years, and I don't think it's fair for the city of San Francisco for what we did.
And 40 homers and 37 steals and a Gold Glove and left wasn't all that bad of a season for sure, Joe. Barry Bonds also, though, is not a one-man gang.
Well, you're right. Last year, Jeff Kent had one of those career years, and that's one of the reasons Barry Bonds took 145 walks, because Jeff Kent was doing a great job behind him picking up the RBIs.
All right, now today, in his first full season, he won 19 ball games for the Giants, and Shawn Estes now starts this year as their ace.
Well, he's a quality left-hander. The only problems he ever has is his location. Sometimes he's a little erratic. But whenever Shawn Estes throws strikes, he gets a win. I expect him to throw strikes today. I expect him to get a win.
All right, and here we are in year number 9. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you very much.
All right, the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Bennis trying to get win number 1. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Triple Play 99 from EA Sports. You've never seen baseball like this. Coming up, Dbacks and the Diamondbacks take on Barry Bonds and the Giants. And we are underway from the Bank One Ballpark in the twilight. The shadows are not a problem in this ballpark, as they might be in almost any other ballpark for a twilight start, a 5:07 start like this. Hamilton into right center field. Devon White going back, still going back, and in the deepest part of the ballpark, he makes the catch.
Well, speaking of defense, nice play there by Devon White. We're going to feature some Gold Glove players tonight. And for the Diamondbacks, Matt Williams, Jay Bell, and Devon White all have won Gold Glove. Jay Bell won 1 glove in '93. The others have multiple Gold Gloves on their shelves.
Here's Bill Miller. Switch hitter batting left-handed. And that is ball 1. Miller off to a hot start, hitting .444 for the young season. Barry Bonds on deck. A called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Bill Miller has demonstrated that he can hit on the major league level, John. He's a line drive hitter, and he's just a hustling ball player. Doesn't supply you as much power from the third base position that you would normally want from there, but he does a lot of other things, and he's a pretty good glove.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And the curveball checks his swing. The ball is too low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I say curveball came in at 83 miles an hour.
But that was his curveball, a little different than his slider. It's a little flatter.
Down the right field line, heading into the corner. And this one is gone. A home run for Bill Miller. And they say,
well, it's a home run. Bill thinks it's a double. He's just not used to hitting home runs, John, but it is a home run.
He stopped at second base, just, I guess, to make sure. I can keep going, can't I? Some guys need a little work on their home run tries.
Well, you're right. He is a line drive hitter. That's what he is. And this is a line drive that happens to go out of the ballpark. Fastball inside. He didn't get it in enough. Actually, good swing there by Miller. It's a line drive over the right field fence right down the line.
Now here's a guy who has no problems with a home run try. Barry Bonds. Bill Miller hitting only his 8th major league home run. He did not hit any as a rookie. He hit 7 last year. Barry Bonds, who hit 40 last year. Travis Lee, that's a fair ball. He was hugging the line. They had 3 infielders to the right. And they take one away from Barry Bonds with the overshift.
Well, that is unusual. Barry doesn't often pull the ball right down the line, but they had the shift on, and maybe it's because Bennis has decided they're going to stay in tight on Barry. The pitch was in, and Barry pulled it. See, the setup is inside. It moves a little bit toward the out, back over the plate. And a nice play there by Lee at first base. Bill Hahn says it's a fair ball. Barry thought it was foul, but probably only because they caught it. He said that was foul.
Here's Jeff Kent on the outside corner for a called strike. 1-0 for the Giants. Now the early returns in terms of the effect that this ballpark has on the flight of a baseball indicate that down the lines the ball just jumps. And Bill Miller might well agree right now, based on his line drive, that I didn't think it was going to hold up long enough to get out of here, but it jumped out of here. But the center field part of the ballpark plays big, and it is pretty big out there, the center field. There's a tough slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jeff Kent. Now, Kent had the 121 RBIs last year, and he's off to a real fast start this season. He's got 9 RBIs already in only 5 games. Got 5 extra base hits in 5 games. Up and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. J.T. Snow on deck. He would be next. The Giants actually, besides Bonds and Kent, J.T. Snow was the 3rd member of their 100 RBI trio. And he chases the bad one and is tagged out by Kelly Stinnett to end the inning. The Giants get a run, though, on the Bill Miller homer. Shawn Estes gets ready to take the hill.
While we could give you a lot of reasons to buy performance friction carbon metallic disc brake pads from AutoZone, perhaps the most compelling is this. They simply stop shorter than any brand we've ever tested.
Strikes, and Greg Bonet, the plate umpire, will toss Estes a new baseball and throw that other one out of play.
You win 19 ball games, and they say you lose your concentration every once in a while. So that tells you that he's got some room for improvement, and he can be a great pitcher over the course of his career if he does make those improvements.
They watched him mature as the season progressed last year. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. That's a base hit.
And let's take a look at the defense for the San Francisco Giants. J.T. Snow at first base, one of 7 players to win a Gold Glove in both leagues. Matt Williams being the other player in this ball game that has done that. And of course, Barry Bonds in left field wins a Gold Glove every year. So they have a couple of Gold Glovers on their side tonight.
And that will bring up Jay Bell. Bell hit the first home run in Diamondbacks history with somebody on base yesterday. A week of firsts for the expansion team. He hit a 3-run shot here yesterday. Shows bunt, takes the ball too low. 1 ball and no strikes.
You have to give Bell some credit because he was under a lot of scrutiny coming here. He got the big contract to come here. Then he got off to a slow start. He was 0 for 8 to start the season. So was Matt Williams. But since that time, he's really come on. He's swinging the bat well.
He homered here on Thursday, as did Williams, and then he homered again yesterday, as we said. And that's too low. Devon White, at one time, an outstanding base stealer, does not run as often in recent years. He has not stolen a base yet for the Diamondbacks this year. In fact, they've only stolen 1 base as a team, and Travis Lee stole that. Travis Lee is on deck. That misses. And so Estes struggling with his control here from the very beginning of this game. 3-0.
Well, John, it seems he's a little too concerned with Devon White at first base. Just everything a slide step, which rushes your body, and he's missed with all 3 pitches.
Devon White stole only 13 bases last year with Florida in half a season. That is called a strike. He used to steal regularly up in the 30s and as many as 44 steals in a season many years ago.
Perfect hit and run situation here if you're the Diamondbacks and you want to make something happen after 5 straight losses. This is a perfect opportunity to do so.
Well, we'll keep an eye on White here. Estes lobs one over there. 1-0. The Giants are leading. So you're sending him.
Well, I would, because I've lost 5 ball games. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to sit and wait. And Jay Bell handles the bat well.
For years, has been one of the premier second-place hitters in the National League. Pittsburgh, if you needed him to get a bunt down, he always got that done. You needed him to hit and run. Adept at that. Time taken by Bell at the plate. 3-1 the count to Jay Bell. Estes went only 3 2/3 innings in his first start last Tuesday in Houston. He has been anxious to get back out there. White not running, and Bell not hitting it.
Well, he was trying to pump that one. He pulled off the pitch. He was trying to pull that pitch. He wasn't going the other way, which tells you that, like you said, it wasn't a hit and run. So he had a 3-1 count. He was taking 1 shot toward left field, trying to hit it deep. Now you have to send it.
3-2. Nobody out. There he goes. And it's ball 4. So the single, now the walk, 2 men on for the rookie Travis Lee. Opening night. Travis Lee had a big night. He got the first Diamondbacks hit in this ballpark and in their history, and later he drove in their first run with their first home run, which also, of course, for the rookie was his first in his first big league game.
Kind of reminds you of another heralded first baseman, left-handed hitter that started his career with the Giants. Will Clark hit a home run his first game, in fact his first at bat, and they expected a lot out of Will Clark. He produced. They expect a lot out of Travis Lee. We'll see what happens.
Will Clark in his first big league game at the Astrodome against Nolan Ryan homered in his first at bat. Here is Travis Lee. Curveball. Estes has not gotten one of those over yet. 1 ball to no strikes. Matt Williams on deck.
And that can get him in trouble, because if you're a hitter and you've watched him throw 3 or 4 breaking balls and not get any over, then you can sit on nothing but a fastball, get your pitch in your location, and take a good swing at it.
Up the middle. Base hit into center field. That will get White home, and Bell to third. Travis Lee has tied the ball game.
Good job of hitting there by Travis Lee. He gave him a breaking ball. He missed, so now you sit on the fastball. He gets a fastball up a little bit, and he takes his hack at it, laces it back to center field to drive in a run. So he missed with the breaking ball, so now he has to come with the fastball, and there it is. Bell-tie fastball out over the plate. Travis Lee, nice extension on that swing. Lines it right back through the middle for a base hit.
Lee, having gone 3 for 4 in that opening ball game, had gone only 2 for 16 since opening night. So he is anxious. He was anxious to get that base hit.
He was 0 for 3 yesterday, 0 for 4 the day before, so he had been struggling.
It's his first hit of this series against the Giants. And here is the former Giant, Matt Williams.
But Estes will have to get his breaking ball over or another pitch. You can't just sit and throw fastballs to these hitters.
Up to Matt Williams especially. Way outside.
Well, he tried a different pitch there, John. He tried to turn that one over, sort of a screwball effect, and he missed with it.
Nice save by Brent Maine.
That was a completely different delivery than any other pitch he's made in this ball game. So he was trying something new, and he realizes he has to have another pitch.
Giants infield, double play depth up the middle. Snow on the bag at first with Lee. Matt Williams at the plate. 1-1 game. And Matty helped him out on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Jay Bell at third base. Travis Lee at first with his opposite number, J.T. Snow. Former Oakland A's outfielder Dwayne Murphy is the first base coach here for Buck Showalter. Dwayne Murphy used to be an outstanding center fielder. Backing out of play, the high fastball, and now the count 1-2. Matt Williams looks a little upset with himself for not doing more with that pitch.
Well, the pitch might have been up a little bit more than Matt likes it, but he was sitting on the fastball. He got it, and as a hitter, you feel like if you get the pitch that you're looking for, you should put it in play.
1-2. Still nobody out. The Diamondbacks with a shot at a big inning here. Shallow right. Kent is going out. Javier coming in. Nobody gets it. Coming in to score is Bell. Lead to second, and it is 2-1 for the Diamondbacks.
Well, that one was in no man's land. A little blooper off the bat. With 2 strikes, he tried to jam Matt Williams, which he does. Now you see Jeff Kent looking to see where Javier is. Now he realizes he can't get there, so I've got to take a shot. So Jeff Kent just barely misses it, and Javier backs him up. Good pitch by Estes.
So Shawn Estes, who had a very poor outing in his first ball game, is immediately in a bad situation here in this one. 2 runs in, 2 men on, nobody out, and there's ball 1 to Yamil Benitez. Benitez 1 for 7 early on Dusty Baker, and the Giants pitching coach Ron Peranoski, who was the bench coach last year. That's a foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Even though Shawn doesn't have control of his breaking ball, he still has to continue to throw it. Even if it doesn't come in the strike zone, it shows the hitter a different speed. Because if you just throw all fastballs and you go everything hard, they are going to catch up with you. And this will be his 20th pitch here in the first inning.
And the count, 2 balls and a strike. There's Jay Bell, who drew a 1-out walk. He's at second, or a no-out walk as the second man of the game. He's at second, and Matt Williams is at first. Shawn Estes, by the way, in 3 2/3 innings this season, has now allowed 15 men to reach base. High and foul off the right field line. 2-2 the count. And get a look at the big crowd here at the Bank One ballpark. This is the last game of the homestand for the Diamondbacks, who have yet to win a ball game. They go into a 10-game road trip immediately after this ball game. And it's a tough trip. 3 in L.A., 4 in San Diego, and 3 in St. Louis. They'd like to get that first win under their belt before they go. In the dirt, saved by Maine. So you just see Estes that has no sharpness at all.
He doesn't seem to have any rhythm out there on the mound. A little more jerkiness to his delivery than he would like. Just not able to find that rhythm early in the ballgame.
Veteran Ron Pernoski. The watchful eye on his young charge. 3-2. The runner's not going. And it's a walk. And so it's getting worse for Estes.
Well, I think someone needs to go talk to him just to at least settle him down a little bit.
And here comes Pernoski to do that very thing. 3 hits, 2 walks. And Chris Jones, a veteran, a journeyman, but a veteran nonetheless, always with a big league job because of his bat, is coming up next. Brent Maine, the catcher. Bill Miller, the third baseman, is also Estes' closest friend. Two to 1 for Arizona in the first inning. The Diamondbacks trying to put together their first big inning. They scored 3 yesterday, all on the 3-run homer by Jay Bell. That's the biggest inning they've had. He's got a chance to do a lot more than that right now against Estes. The Giants infield, double play depth. And give him that 3rd run to try and keep it from getting any worse. Lee down the line from 3rd. And a curveball, and Chris Jones helped him out there, even though Estes had not yet gotten a curveball in there for a strike.
Well, he was sitting on a fastball, and he threw him a breaking ball. But remember, his curveball is pretty fast, pretty hard, so he thought it was a fastball. And that's why I say you have to continue to throw your breaking ball, even if you're not getting it over. Maybe you will find the right rhythm and the right grip.
This could be 2. Here's 1, kick back to first. 2, double play. Lee comes in to score in that play. Williams goes to 3rd. Sanchez to Kent to Snow. And the Giants wanted that one badly. But it is now 3-1 Arizona.
Well, the breaking ball set this pitch up. It's a fastball in, and he jams him so he can't get around. If he wouldn't have gotten the breaking ball over, he'd have been sitting on that fastball and may have done some damage. Nice turn at second base by Jeff Kent. Good strong throw to first base.
Now here is Kelly Stinnett. Blew the fastball by him. 0-1. Stinnett 0 for 4 in the young season. Andy Bennis staked to a lead here for the first time as a Diamondback. Stinnett, the 7th batter of the inning. Fastball called a strike on the outside. It's 0-2. Stinnett and George Fabregas are the 2 Diamondbacks catchers, both veterans. Tony Batista is on deck. He would be next. And a foul out of play that reaches into the upper deck at the Bank One ballpark. As the game goes along, we'll tour you around this ballpark a little bit. It's a very unique ballpark. The first park that has any kind of a dome that also has a grass field and a pathway from the pitcher's mound to the home plate area. The first time in a big league ballpark maybe in 50 years or more. All those old movies, those Ronald Reagan movies, had that pathway. Now there's the Estes curveball that we're used to seeing, and he gets Stinnett looking. Strike 3. But the Diamondbacks get 3. J.T. Snow coming up. 3-1 Arizona.
This is life.
But in right center field. Yes, I guess they can say that they have everything in this ballpark, even a swimming pool. J.T. Snow, first ball swinging. A would-be base hit flagged down by Bennis. 1 away. Now let's go for an update to Gary Miller.
John, it's over in Oakland, and so is the Yankees' winless scheme. They allowed the A's to tie it with a Jason Giambi 2-run homer in the 9th, but The Seeing Eye single, they scored 2 in the 10th. Then the Yanks leave the Expos and Diamondbacks as the only winless teams.
All right, Gary. So the Yanks win their first win. Now they've got to go to Seattle, where they almost never win. Tough first week of the season for New York.
Well, they took the mystery. They stopped that mystery right away of whether they'd win 162 games, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They stopped that on opening day. Right?
Not sure how many people were convinced that they might do that, but here comes Stan Javier. And the breaking ball for a called strike. Javier looked like he was thinking about that chop bunt kind of a play there. Brent Maine is on deck. Javier been an RBI man the first week of the season. Got 9 RBIs. He had a career record 5 RBIs in a ball game Thursday at the Astrodome. And at least for now, he's up among the league leaders, along with his partner Jeff Kent. 1 ball, 1 strike. Devon White going back at the warning track.
John, you talked about, how deep it was in center field. I think that makes this a fair ballpark in that the ball carries well down the lines and straightaway right field and straightaway left field. You have to give the pitcher some place to pitch to if you're going to make it a fair ballpark. And center field here is like that. They have to make the hitters hit the ball at center field, and they'll be all right.
407 to straightaway center, 413 to extremely deep left center and extremely deep right center. And the wall out there all the way across is 25 feet high. Brent Maine, a strike. Formerly with the Oakland Athletics, he had 289, his best offensive year last year. Now he moves across the bay to the Giants.
All right, some of the newer ballparks are not fair to pitchers. The center field is, they're all reachable by little guys. Center field should only be reachable by the big sluggers, and this ballpark will be like that.
Camden Yards in Baltimore, for instance, has Tiger Stadium-like dimensions, except in center. Tiger Stadium, if you hit it out there, you get it out.
Right.
Camden Yards, center field is also eminently reachable. And that's a ball to Brent Maine. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down and nobody on. 3-1. Arizona is leading here in the second. Andy Bennis, always tough on the Giants. That's a broken bat. Batista, plenty of time, and that's the inning. So Bennis keeps the lead with a 3-up and 3-down inning. 8 pitches is all he had to throw, and now Estes, who labored, will be right back out there.
You'd really like to be there, but it's miles away. Let DirecTV Sports take you to the game with MLB Extra Innings. See up to 35 regular season games every week from all across the country and never leave home. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the entire regular season for only $119 or 4 payments of $29.75. Call now and save $20 off the regular season price. Catch the highlights as they happen from the best seat in the house, your house. Sit behind the plate, down the line, up the alley, on the bag, even in your very own skybox. Order right now, and you'll also get a free subscription to On, the official magazine of DirecTV Sports. Choose from up to 35 regular season games every week, and we'll take you there. Heck, you don't even have to pay for parking, but you do have to pick up the peanut shells. Order MLB Extra Innings today on DirecTV Sports.
When a trip to the wilderness becomes a fight for survival, 2 rivals.
You and my wife? I've seen you with her.
I don't want to hear it! Must rely on each other.
Come on, Charles!
And if you think you know who will survive,
Well, it's full of betrayal.
you have never been
I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna kill the mother.
to the edge.
Get me!
Anthony Hopkins, Alec Baldwin, The Edge.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Ben Franklin discovered
miles per hour. And Ken Griffey Jr. had said to me, well, he made a statement that he goes from A to B quicker than anyone else in the game. And so we will be able to find out over the course of the season whether he does actually go as quicker than anyone else on certain pitches.
All right, so that's our benchmark, 97 miles an hour for Griffey. And will be our measure of comparison. First ball swinging, Tony Batista, and he has been thrown out by Ray Sanchez as we start the Arizona half. of the second inning. 3-1. The Diamondbacks are leading, and there's one away.
And John, it was interesting because in the ball game opening day, we had Edgar Martinez hit a home run. His was 88 miles an hour. We had Jay Buhner hit a home run. His was 84. So to this point, Griffey Jr. has the quickest on the home runs that we have tracked so far.
Here's Andy Bennis. 0-1. Devon White on deck. Andy Bennis out of the University of Evansville. And he was an all-round athlete. He started 6 games at quarterback and also caught 30 passes as a tight end while at the University of Evansville. But then he injured his arm, and that ended his football career. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And of course his brother Alan still with the St. Louis Cardinals. They were teammates there for a while. And it looks like Alan probably won't get back until around the end of May, 1st of June, somewhere in there. They expect him, though, to come back without complications. They're hoping that he'll be just as good as new when he gets back.
And that's a big loss for St. Louis, of course.
The sharp curveball, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Andy Bennis. And of course, right now they lose Alan Bennis for a couple of months. They lost Andy altogether. I mean, they right at the last minute thought they had a long-term deal worked out with the Cardinals. Sanchez throws out Bennis on number 2, but as it turned out, it was after the deadline for those kind of signings, and Andy Bennis ends up with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-down leadoff man Devon White is coming up. 3 runs, 3 hits for Arizona. 1 run, 1 hit for the Giants. Joe, and you're a veteran like Devon White or Jay Bell or Matt Williams, and you got all these young guys, and it's a brand new ballpark, brand new franchise, brand new everything. And then the club does not come out and play well the first few games. They start losing. Would there be a tendency for a veteran to start feeling a little heat, a little pressure, to put some pressure on himself?
Well, I think he should. First of all, because they can take the pressure better than some of these young players. And the veterans probably have talked about it amongst themselves. Look, we need to step it up a little bit, but let's not press. And I'm sure that that's what each one of them has talked about. In fact, Andy Bennis says he didn't feel any extra pressure to win tonight's ball game because they'd lost 5 in a row. He just feels pressure to win because that's what he's supposed to do. And Matt Williams has been through some tough times before, so he knows how to handle it.
That's a foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Devon White. But I know there sometimes is the tendency to try to take the burden on your own shoulders. Guys go up, maybe they try a little too hard at the plate, wanting to hit the big home run, and sometimes end up throwing themselves out of their normal game. Curveball, and a beauty from Estes. So Estes seems to have found that rhythm here in the second. But it's 3-1 Arizona. We head to the third.
It's freezing. It's quiet. But you get used to it. You grow to love it.
Snow Fox 2-1. This is Snow Fox base.
This is Snow Fox 2-1. Then a storm comes up. And I'm the one who's got to get us out of here. And I remember who gave me courage. This is for them. For my mom and dad, who never missed a game. For Drill Sergeant McCardle, who showed me what it takes to be a leader.
Visual contact, Sergeant.
And for myself, who became one.
If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand.
Peace of mind from Buick LeSabre.
Hi, my name is Sierra, and this is my very own Gateway commercial.
Hello, welcome to South Dakota.
If you want to buy a computer, call my mom. She's right back here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Sierra.
She knows a lot about computers, and she's really nice.
Pentium 2 processor and monitor for under $2,000.
She really is nice.
You betcha.
You should call my mom.
Gateway computers feature Intel Pentium 2 processors. Give us a call. You've got a friend in the business.
How do you separate knowledge from noise? Call Invesco. 38 no-load funds, 65 years experience, a global perspective. You should know what Invesco knows.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Invesco, managers of 38 no-load mutual funds. You should know what Invesco knows. The famed saguaro cactus here in the Sonoran Desert, the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. John Miller, Joe Morgan, your Valley of the Sun Sunday night telecasters. We're not used to being here this time of year, Joe. It's usually everybody's headed out of this area by now. That is everybody in baseball. Ray Sanchez, the hitter against Bennis, and quickly down on the count, 0-2. Shawn Estes, the pitcher, is on deck, and then Hamilton, the leadoff man, due up third. 3-1. Arizona is leading. The Giants, of course, were one of the original Cactus League teams back in 1947. When they were still the New York Giants. They came out here, as did Cleveland, to conduct spring training. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Ray Sanchez. Bill Rigney was on the Giants at that time. He remembers it was a long drive to get down to Tucson for a game in those days. Shallow right center. That's going to fall. Base hit. So Sanchez just lobs one in there for a single. Coming up now Wednesday, big Wednesday night baseball doubleheader on ESPN beginning at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and the Atlanta Braves. Same pitching staff basically, but a lot of new faces in that lineup taking on Gene Lamont's Pittsburgh Pirates. And then the second half of the doubleheader, the Boston Red Sox, Mo Vaughn and company take on the Anaheim Angels. Tim Salmon in the group of that brand new ballpark there. Both games subject to blackout. Check the listings in your area. The Wednesday night baseball doubleheader on ESPN. Shawn Estes shows bunt, takes a called strike.
I saw Curt Schilling match up against Greg Maddux today. Great ball game. Schilling struck out 15.
Went the distance. 15 strikeouts. Won the ball game 2-1 in Atlanta.
And they're going to match up again on Friday in Philadelphia. Might fly up there and watch that.
To the bag is Sanchez. Well, Schilling pitched a 5-hitter. Not only 15 strikeouts, but 1 walk. Maddux pitched a 5-hitter for 8 innings. Only 1 earned run against him. That hurts, doesn't it?
Yes.
And the winning run of that game scored in the 8th inning. It was 1-1 until the 8th. Scott Rowland had the only RBI against Maddux. So that error, Chipper Jones made an error of some sort. You'll see it all after the ball game on SportsCenter. Bunt, Estes gets it done. Sanchez is over to second base on the unassisted putout. Now let's go to Gary Miller.
Update from the Phillies and Braves. Greg Maddux against Curt Schilling. It was a great pitcher's duel. The Braves' only run came on a Chipper Jones home run in the first, but after that, Schilling was magnificent. He struck out Andres Galarraga 4 times. He got 15 strikeouts in the game. He's got 24 in the season and a 2-1 win.
Amazing. Darrell Hamilton, the hitter. Thanks, Gary. Strike 1 to Hamilton. Runner at second for the Giants with 1 out here. And we just even mention a game.
Yeah.
And Gary has got the highlights right there at his fingertips. Incredible. That's a foul out of play. Darrell Hamilton, by the way, wanted us to remember him to his mom, Geraldine, who's tuned in tonight in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And she has been in a battle against cancer. He said that she just had her final chemotherapy treatment. He wanted her to know that he was thinking about her. And we send along all of our best wishes as well. Geraldine Hamilton doing Baton Rouge tonight. And Darrell Hamilton is quickly gone here. He didn't think that last pitch was in there. He questions the call by Bonet.
That's a fastball towards the outside corner. And it's strike 3 called. Darrell thought the ball was way off the corner, but Greg Bonet says strike 3.
Bill Miller. And the breaking ball outside, ball 1. Miller hit a home run his first time for the Giants' only run up till now. Giants have had a pattern in this series. They got here Friday of falling behind early and then coming back later and winning the ball game. They did it both Friday and Saturday here. Knocked in the air, shallow left, Benitez, and that's it. Barry Bonds left on deck. It'll be Jay Bell and then Travis Lee and Matt Williams. The power coming up for the Diamondbacks. 3-1 Arizona over the Giants.
How to speak Australian. Ouch. Cry baby. Beer. Foster's, Australian for beer.
Jockey. Great underwear.
Let them know you're jockey.
Guys like me don't get much respect. I mean, I hit big, but there's no D-word commercial. I made huge plays. I'm not even in a cereal box. But man, I could care less.
Triple Play 99. You've never seen baseball like this.
Who needs cereal?
Whoa.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Try Domino's new spicy Italian crust pizza for only $9.99. It's a freshly baked crust sprinkled with Italian herbs and spices and toasted to a light golden brown. Domino's juicy, mouth-watering toppings, 100% real cheese on a new spicy Italian crust pizza. Now that's the flavor Domino's delivers. Order a large spicy Italian crust pizza with all your favorite Domino's toppings for just $9.99. Baked fresh when you call. Domino's, delivering a million smiles a day.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes.
Whether it's the stylish design,
I'm sitting on the dock of the bay,
the advanced technology,
watching the tide,
or even the extensive warranty, it's a whole new Hyundai, any way you look at it.
Diamondbacks 3, Giants 1. Here we go to the last of the third from Phoenix. And the curveball from Estes too high for ball 1. Jay Bell. Bell walked in the middle of that 3-run first inning rally. Travis Lee will follow, and then Matt Williams. Bell had his best all-around power numbers last year in the American League. His 1 year with Kansas City. He had 21 homers and 92 runs batted in. And it's off the glove of Maine. The fastball missing. 1 ball and 1 strike. A little bit low, I guess.
It's interesting. You know, they wanted Bell very badly, and they paid a lot of money to get him. You would think that maybe they'd get a shortstop, a second baseman, you know, so they could form a double play combination for the next few years.
By the way, that previous pitch made it 2-1. Now it is 2-2. Estes changing up there. There's Jerry Colangelo. Who brought baseball to the Valley of the Sun.
And basketball.
And he brought Jay Bell and Matt Williams and Andy Benes to the Valley of the Sun. Foul ball into the upper deck. Fan caught it up there. 2-2 the count.
I think one of Buck Showalter's toughest jobs is to hold down the optimism of Jerry Colangelo. Jerry thinks that
that is strike 3 called, and Bell knew it. Right on the outside corner. Nice pitch. Yeah, I think they think they could be the best expansion team ever. Right. They might be, but then again they might not. It can be tough when you're an expansion team. There is the Pepsi tethered blimp. And this is our warm Arizona welcome to the Pepsi tethered blimp, the unmanned blimp hovering about 400 feet above the stadium. Joe brought that himself.
Unmanned blimp.
Yeah.
Technology has come a long way.
Joe had it all folded up in his briefcase. It took you a little while to inflate it ahead of time. I didn't think you're going to get here. Travis Lee up the middle. Kent, can he get it from his knee? He does. Nice play. And Travis Lee is going to have to go find a cop because he was robbed, Joe.
One of the things that Dusty Baker talked to me about before the ballgame, he said, we play good defense. You know, they do not make a lot of mistakes that hurt themselves. Kent, of course, is known for his bat because he drove in 121 runs last year. But this is a very fine defensive play. Ball up the middle. This is the toughest play for a second baseman to make. He dives, but because he has a strong arm, he can throw from his knees accurately. And a nice stretch there by J.T. Snow. Look at that. Nice play. We've seen Roberto Alomar make that play a lot.
And there is Matt Williams. When Alomar does it, you're not even surprised.
Yeah.
Jeff Kent turning in the defensive gem of the evening up till now. Matt Williams singled home a run his first time with a bloop into right field. That curveball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to Matt Williams. Williams, of course, had his worst year last year, not on the field, but emotionally. A divorce between he and his wife, his 3 young children, all here. And Matt had not had to spend that much time away from them before. And he had a handwritten note that he sent to John Hart, not just requesting a trade, but almost begging him to be traded to here. Not just traded somewhere, but specifically here, where his kids are living. That is a base hit for Matt Williams. So he's finding the holes tonight, and is 2 for 2. You know, the incredible thing was he got traded here and then got a contract extension for a huge amount. Not that we're saying he's not worth it, but Matt himself said that he would have come here for a lot less. That wasn't the point.
Let's take a look at Matt Williams. He's what you call a back leg hitter. See how he stays back on his back leg? He doesn't shift his weight forward. A lot of hitters shift their weight forward. He stays on that back leg.
Yamil Benitez walked his first time, takes a ball. Well, Matt Williams, even in the year of his discontent last year over in the American League in Cleveland, away from his family, he had 32 homers with 105 RBIs. That's a ball outside, and of course Matt, enormously popular with the San Francisco Giants, and facing his old teammates, his old ball club for the first time in a regular season game this weekend. Facing his old manager and his old friend, Dusty Baker. To short, Sanchez. To Kent at second for the force on Matt Williams. The inning is over. So Shawn Estes has shown signs of settling in. Arizona leading 3-1. And the power coming up. Bonds, Kent, and J.T. Snow when we come back.
What are you doing? Borrowing her hairspray? Oh, that'll smell lovely. And the shellac look. That's very big now. Hey, you're a guy. Guy's hair is shorter. It doesn't need heavy hold. So guys use Consort for natural, manageable hair with no shellac look. No, hairspray isn't hairspray any more than shoes are shoes.
Consort. Spray, mousse, and gel. Because guys' hair is different.
What else is in there?
Another shortcut to small business success. Let Mailboxes Etc. be your business address. We'll receive your mail and deliveries, giving you more freedom to go out and expand your empire. Mailboxes Etc., making business easier worldwide. Another shortcut to small business success. Let Mailboxes Etc. deal with all that copying, collating, and binding, and you'll have more time for building client relationships. Mailboxes Etc., making business easier worldwide.
At Century 21, we realize what buying a house really means.
As part of the world's #1 real estate sales organization, Century 21 offices have more people, resources, and power to help you find the home of your dreams. That's the power of #1, Century 21.
Hey, what's that?
What's what?
Iceberg right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away Daiwa fishing kits with Yozuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Save on Napa motor oil. Now only 59 cents after rebate.
A magazine's success starts with the writers.
Get me the lowdown on Jordan. What's his beef with the Bulls? And give me a piece on the Latin influence on baseball. Pedro Martinez, Omar Vizquel, with a preview on all 30 clubs. Comprende? Print it, baby!
Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, and Barry Bonds is standing in. Andy Bennis on the hill with a 3-1 lead. Bonds takes ball 1. Bonds grounded out to first, and is 0 for 1. Jeff Kent and JT Snow will follow. Changed up on him. Got it in at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bonds with 374. 2 balls and no strikes, I beg your pardon. 374 career home runs. But none so far this year. Not even an RBI yet for Barry Bonds this year. Hasn't affected the ball club much. The Giants have averaged 7.5 runs a game.
Well, last year he got off to a slow start, and they played pretty well, you know, without him, because Jeff Kent was picking up the slack. But you know Barry's going to put up his numbers.
3-time MVP Barry Bonds. And the slider is low.
John, that's quite an accomplishment. 3-time MVP. I mean, that is really special.
That doesn't include the MVP type seasons he had where he didn't win the MVP. Off the glove of Batista, shallow center field. Bonds is going to try it. Here's Batista's throw. Offline, and Bonds makes it.
Well, Bonds hesitated. He got some help at first base from the coach, and he took off, but Barry was hustling down the line. He wasn't sure if Batista was going to be able to make the catch, and he'd have to beat it out at first base. But after he rounded the bag, he hustled on into second base. Good job there. Fastball tailing away, and Barry gets out and drives it up the middle. See, Batista tries to come up with it. He's not known for his glove. He's a better offensive player, but this ball is hit sharply by Barry. And you can hear the coach in the background saying, go, go, go.
It's Carlos Alfonso, the Giants first base coach. Here's Jeff Kent. Check swing, an appeal, and Bill Hahn, the first base umpire, rules swing. So it's 0-1 to Kent.
And that's what a first base coach's job is to help you out. That's what your coaches are there for. Listen to them.
It's Carlos Alfonso.
And instead of having a runner at first in a double play situation, they have a runner at second now with an opportunity to score.
On the other hand, if you're Barry Bonds, whole thing could have been a lot easier if he just kept running hard all the way.
That's true. It's interesting that this is a tough situation. If you're Jeff Kent, do you try to hit the ball to the right side and move him along to third like a lot of hitters are supposed to do? Or are you the RBI man, or are you supposed to drive him in?
Well, he's going to get him to third. And Jay Bell throws him out with a nice play. And there is one away.
But that is always a big dilemma here in what you do as a cleanup hitter. Do you drive him in, or do you go the other way? Let's take a look at this pitch. It looked like an off-speed pitch, maybe a little slider. It went down. Jeff hit it off the end. And Barry doing a good job. The ball hit behind you. You can make it to third base. You see he gets there easily as Jay Bell throws Kent out at first base. So he did get him over. Now JT Snow can hit a ground ball and get him in. So that's always a big question. What do you do if you're the cleanup hitter? Do you drive him in, or do you move him along?
The infield is backed up. And that is too low for ball 1.
Most managers will tell you that they want their cleanup hitters to drive them in, unless you're in a late in the ball game and you just have to have that runner moved over. And most most of them say we are only going to be as good as our cleanup hitter and our RBI men are at producing.
Well, that's Reggie Jackson used to say. In a spot like that, he asked him, "Did you ever try to get the guy over to third?" And I said, "Well, I was the chauffeur." The guy was at second. I came up. I said, "You get in and let me drive you home."
Well, and that's the opinion of most managers.
3-0 to J.T. Snow with Stan Javier on deck. Snow looking at Ron Wotus, the third base coach. There is Javier out on deck. 3-1, Arizona leading. Getting a run here would be a big play. I guess Bennis is a tough pitcher, and you've got a lot of time remaining in the ball game to get more. So why not? If you can manufacture a run, why not do it?
Exactly. Well, that's why sometimes you have to wonder about the fourth hitter. Do I hit it to the right side, move him over, get a ground ball, get him in? You know, you're back in the ball game.
Right up the middle, but it hit the mound. And Jay Bell throws him out. That looked like a sure single to center, but it hit the mound and ricocheted over to Jay Bell. And so the Giants have, in fact, manufactured the run. The coaching from Alfonso. Bonds hustling to second, then the ground ball by Kent. And you see this play.
Well, they're calling it a double play. They're saying the ball did not hit the ground. They're saying it hit Andy Bennis, and he caught it in the air.
Well, we just saw it. It hit him in the foot.
Yeah.
And never hit the ground. And the Giants have not manufactured a run. And Dusty Baker's out to get into an argument here.
Well, his argument should be that they did not call him out when he caught the ball. That's the argument that you have.
Well, if they called him out, then Bonds had a chance to go back
to third. Now watch. The ball hits him on the foot. It does not hit the ground. Now Jay Bell catches it in the air, but watch, no one calls him out. The umpire there is not calling him out. So you have to call him out right there because it's a catch. They did not do so. So I understand why Dusty's very upset.
Obviously, Jay Bell didn't realize they'd called him out because he threw the ball to first base. 3-1 Arizona after 3.5. A bit of controversy in the desert.
The S&P 500 index is quite a benchmark. In fact, it outperformed 93% of all stock funds for the past year. American Century Income and Growth Fund outperformed the S&P 500 for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and the life of the fund. Seating is now available. Call 1-800-321-3219.
Bobby?
What do you want?
We've got to talk. These kids you're mixed up with don't know right from wrong.
They're my friends.
People who don't dial 1-800-COLLECT are nobody's friends. 1-800-COLLECT is 10 cents a minute every evening.
Really?
This isn't a game, kid. You could be saving your parents money.
Bobby, you with us or him?
You made the right choice, son. 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
At Plank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice House, thanks and enjoy.
I want to go where the trails end. Run with the wild.
Look, you could get lost or attacked or it's dangerous.
Harold, I need this.
Karen! Karen!
For whatever places your heart longs to see, we present a completely reinvented Isuzu Rodeo. Watch yourself out there now. In this line of work,
I'm a contract killer.
A little overtime.
This is the girl?
No, it's your mammy.
There has been an unauthorized kidnapping.
Can kill you.
Get him.
Well, you can't tell by the way I roll, shorty, that I'm a ladies' man, a businessman.
Let's work.
Condos down the shore, multi-million pension plan.
From the team that brought you Broken Arrow and Face Off, the big hit.
What's up with you guys? You supposed to be the Spice Boys or something?
Rated R. On April 24th, It Happens.
Andy Bennis. Sometimes you need to be good, and sometimes you just need to be lucky.
Lucky, you're right.
And here is Chris Jones against Shawn Estes in the first place. The would-be base hit by J.T. Snow turned into some bad luck when it hit Bennis in the foot, and only later did we all realize just how much bad luck there really was on that one for Snow. Jeff Kent in front of Javier, and Jones is out number 1. When Buck Showalter came out, they did eventually throw the ball to third base and tagged the bag. Third baseman Matt Williams tagged the bag, and Barry Bonds was doubled up for leaving the bag before tagging up on a ball that never hit the ground. But your point, Joe, I think is one that is the key point to the whole deal, is that Bonds, as the runner, needs to know if they're ruling it a catch.
Yeah, a catch. Someone has to call that, the umpire, because he could have gone back to third while Bell threw the ball to first base. If someone says you're out, or call that's a catch, then the third base coach could help Barry out by telling him to come back to third base.
Now the umpires might well be saying, as we watch Kelly Stinnett at the plate against Shawn Estes, the umpires might be saying, well, if we had done that, then Jay Bell would have known also to throw the ball to third instead of throwing it to first as he did, and we still would have doubled up.
Well, let's do it right anyway, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a logical explanation, simply because Jay Bell was in a position where he was throwing to first base. He thought, his mind was made up beforehand, just like Barry's was.
And Barry was also running on the play all the way. Broken bat, base hit for Stinnett. After the play was over, the Diamondbacks, as you will, after recording it out at first base, were throwing the ball around the infield.
Well, here's the throw to first base, which we thought retired J.T. Snow.
Yeah. See, Stinnett threw it back to Bautista, and finally they throw it over to Matt Williams at third. Watch it.
Well, I'm looking at the umpire there.
Randy Marsh, the third base umpire, and the crew chief. But if they know the ball hit Bennis in the foot right away, somebody's got to call that right away. And that's your point.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making, is there should be an out call. He should have been, instead of standing at third base with his hand down, he should have been standing there with an out with his fist raised. Someone should have been saying, that's an out, that's a catch.
Tony Bautista with a very unique looking stance, holding the bat low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bautista. Grounded ashore his first time. 3-1 Arizona. A very bizarre play. Can't say I've seen one exactly like that before, where Barry Bonds has already crossed home plate and gone to the dugout
thinking that he scored a run,
and then they say, oh no, it's a catch. By the way, the Diamondbacks, they're not exactly, Travis Lee didn't know himself. Nobody knew. They threw the ball around the infield before they finally realized they should tag third base. Every infielder had touched the ball after the play at first, not knowing that it was called an out.
In my opinion, the only one that really could have seen that would have been Randy Marsh at third, to see that the ball did not hit the dirt, that it did hit him on the foot, because the second base umpire Hernandez did not call him out. Didn't say a catch when the ball was caught by Jay Bell, so it had to be Randy Marsh.
1-2 the count. Bautista, and over to second base goes Stinnett. Wild pitch.
Okay, I had a 1-6-3, but now we've got to add a 1-6-3-4-5 for the double play.
Yeah, because they threw it around the infield. It's sort of the casual double play.
Yeah, playing catch.
Lee threw it over to Bautista. Bautista threw it over to Matt Williams. Now a runner at second base. The Diamondbacks already ahead, 3-1. The pitcher is on deck. Now Maine goes out to talk to Shawn Estes here. Giants' only loss of the season occurred Wednesday at the Astrodome, and a pass ball by Brent Maine with Julian Tavares on the mound allowed the winning run to score. And we find out afterward that in that spot Tavares had crossed up Brent Maine. He had called for a slider, and Tavares threw one of those hard 95-mile-an-hour sinkers breaking away. They scored at a pass ball on Maine, but that was the winning run of the ball game. So he's making sure that everybody knows what the signals are here. Maine over to the seats, runs out of room, and that's a Bank One Ballpark souvenir. 2-2 to Bautista.
Well, the play with Barry is kind of like a ball to the outfield when the guy comes in and a runner at third and a sliding catch. Someone has to call it right away so that the runner at third will know what to do. And I'm still a little disappointed of whatever that I did not see anyone make the call.
Barry Bonds, when he went back to left field, had a long chat with Randy Marsh.
Well, one thing you have to give him credit for, good eyes to be able to see the ball hit him on the toe, on the foot, rather than hitting the rubber, because it wasn't like real obvious.
Because, you know, Bennis didn't even act like he'd been hit.
Right.
Okay, sometimes gets hit, you'll see him flinch, you'll see him grab at his foot. I mean, Bennis just stood out there like nothing had happened. He's on deck. 2-2 to Bautista. Curve, did he swing? Brent May appeals. No, says first base umpire Bill Hahn. Bill Hahn was looking out in the outfield when they appealed to him. John, they had to ask him 2 or 3 times before he finally turned around and said, oh, no swing. And it is 3-2 now.
John, my rookie year, I was playing second base, and Hank Aaron hit a line
that should
drive.
Be ball 4, isn't it? I think that's ball 4. Yeah, finally Bautista gets the word that it is ball 4.
Yeah. I was playing second base my rookie year, and Hank Aaron hit a line drive back through the box, and it hit Turk Farrell in the head, and it went up in the air, and I caught it in short center, and I tried to throw to first base, didn't make a throw, but he was called out the same play. That's the closest I've ever seen to a play like that, and I didn't know he was out either. I didn't know where the ball hit. I took off for, when I saw the ball off his bat, I started up the middle, and I lost it, and then I picked it up in the air.
Here's Andy Bennis now to try and help himself. He's leading 3-1. We know he's got a strong right foot. Showing bunt, taking high from Estes. 1 ball and no strikes. Bennis grounded to short his first time. He's looking over at Brian Butterfield, third base coach of the Diamondbacks, looking for a sign. Butterfield, formerly of the Yankee organization with Buck Showalter, came here with Buck. He says his 2 sons, John and Chris, are tuned in tonight, watching up in Maine. His son Chris in Presque Isle, Maine. His son John in college in Maine. That's a foul off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andy Bennett hadn't seen his sons in 4 months. They've been busy here in Arizona getting ready for this first season.
Let's take a look at this play again. This is the line drive. You see it hit him on the left foot, and Jay Bell catches it in the air.
Yeah.
You see, Bell says, I didn't see it hit your foot. I just thought it hit the ground.
There's the bunt. Estes will have to go to first. Kent is covering. Nicely done. That one on that dirt path back to the mound.
Well, he does a good job of deadening the ball because he was not trying to bunt it down the third baseline. You see, he hits it off the end of the bat, which deadens the ball enough right up the path, as John mentioned. So Estes has to make the play to first base. Good job there by Bennis. He gets the runners into scoring position.
You know, here on Friday night, Kareem Garcia tried to bunt for a base hit and just laid down a beauty, but it rolled out on that path on the dirt, and he got thrown out by a fraction of a step. So he might have been cursing that dirt path on Friday. There's a changeup. 0-1 to Devon White.
Well, you don't get the ball to be slowed down by the grass like you would if you bunt it towards the lines.
The infield here is very fast. The dirt in front of the plate is very hard. It's a real offensive-minded ballpark. Benny Castilla said here opening night that the infield reminded him of Coors Field. Very fast. High in the air in the right center. Stan Javier, plenty of room. And the inning is over. 2 men stranded in scoring position. Still 3-1 Arizona. We head to the 5th. Javier will be coming up.